celebrate, remember her, and make sure that her work carries on.
Now at 4, a beloved Seattle filmmaker and photographer is killed in a suspected DUI crash. We are looking back at her legacy behind the lens.
I was surprised they hadn't had more of them for the amount of rain we've had along here.
Tuesday's windstorm leads to a mudslide in Tacoma. The impact it's having on drivers tonight.
The road will remain closed until further notice.
I'm Drew Mickelson at the state capitol, where we sat down with Governor Bob Ferguson about his appetite for new taxes to help the state solve its budget deficit.
Today was a day to sound the alarm bells.
King County needs to make cuts to stay on budget. The question is where?
I don't think human services and law enforcement are the places to cut.
The problem in front of council members tonight.
To show her what she meant to us, what she meant to our community, and repay all that love that she's given to us.
Tonight, we're learning more about the woman killed in a deadly crash that happened over the weekend on State Route 509 near Burien. Thanks for being with us. I'm Steve Solis.
I'm Jessica Janner Castro. King 5's Brady Wakayama joining us with our top story in studio to share more details on the type of person she was and her legacy. Brady.
Well, Jessica and Steve, 53-year-old Della Chen was a beloved Seattle filmmaker and photographer. Those close to her say she had an incredible gift of storytelling while capturing the heart and soul of the community with care. They say her passing is a significant loss and her legacy will last forever. Now, Chen, her husband, and her 18-year-old daughter were driving on State Route 509 in Burien 11:30 Saturday night. That's when a 26-year-old driver crashed into the family's car, which then struck a tree on the side of the road. Chen's daughter and husband survived the crash, but Chen died from her injuries. The 26-year-old driver failed a field sobriety test, according to police. Friends of Chen are grieving the loss. In 2023, she released her first and only documentary film. She directed She Marches in Chinatown, a film highlighting the Seattle Chinese community girls drill team.
I think her legacy is definitely in all of us. I mean, the hundreds and the many generations of women that were in drill team who have seen her work, and all the people who this movie touches.
And the 26-year-old suspect appeared in court on Monday and is being held on a $750,000 bail. We're not naming him because he has not been charged, but a charging decision could happen within the next few hours. Live in the studio, Brady Wakayama, King 5 News.
Brady, thank you. Developing right now, one person is hurt after a crash along Highway 2 near Monroe. This is at Frylands Boulevard. We know that one person was thrown 20 yards down an embankment. Snohomish fire crews say one of the vehicles involved was a box truck that leaked chemicals. Highway 2 was shut down for several hours this afternoon as a hazmat team worked to contain the spill. The road has since reopened.
We are still seeing the impacts of this week's windstorm. Power is still out in parts of western Washington, and landslides are impacting both roads and train tracks tonight. Let's start in Tacoma. A landslide has closed a usually busy road there. The slide happened around midnight.
The city says crews are working to get the road clear of trees and debris. This is along Marine View Drive near the Chinook Landing Marina. People who live close by said that they were not surprised, saying that there are often landslides of all sizes along this road.
There's a lot of little slides, along here, but just because of what the ground, what's in the soil.
The road will be closed overnight. As of now, there's no estimated time of reopening. Tonight at 5, we're going to hear from the city of Tacoma about the efforts to get the road reopened. Also, a landslide between Edmonds and Mukilteo has shut down Amtrak and Sounder train service. It is currently blocking the tracks near Picnic Point Park. Amtrak says train service between Seattle and Vancouver, BC will now be suspended until tomorrow morning. The Sounders N-Line service out of Seattle is also canceled until tomorrow afternoon, but both are putting passengers on buses to get them to their destination.
And power crews are still trying to get the lights back on around the Sound. Progress has been made in Seattle. Only a few dozen outages remain, but about 13,000 Puget Sound Energy customers still do not have power, and it's slowly getting getting restored to Port Orchard right now. The entire city lost power in the windstorm and was off the grid entirely all of yesterday. Today, PSE sent an outreach team to talk to residents, and King 5 was there.
It's been bad, obviously, and it's been getting colder and colder without any power. It's freezing in the house right now.
Today is day 2 without power for many folks in Port Orchard. Utility crews made a concerted effort to shed light on their response efforts.
We made significant progress overnight. We actually brought 4 substations back online, as well as numerous transmission lines that feed into the area. Now we're starting to work in the distribution lines, the ones that feed into the neighborhoods, and those are a little bit slower in restoration times because they're little pockets, sort of block by block.
An outreach team met with customers from 11 to 5 at the Fred Meyer at the intersection of Sedgwick and Bethel.
I mean, we understand how frustrating it is to be without power.
PSE also says they're trying to update outage maps as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I talked to that guy in there right now, but he told me if the power isn't on right now, where I'm living, it's not going to be on until tomorrow at night.
This man, Woodrow Couch, says he's worried about his mom, who relies on oxygen and needs to use portable tanks until power is restored.
It's really frustrating right now for my mom. Kind of worried about it and kind of pissed, but hey, what you gonna do?
We're going to want to bring in now meteorologist Ashley Ruiz, because Ashley, the weather is going to cooperate as us crews trying to restore power because we're abnormally warm right now.
Oh, we are. Temperatures have climbed over the last couple of hours, and a lot of us have warmed into the upper 50s, a couple in near 60. In Seattle, we've struggled to warm, so not quite 60 degrees because we had so much cloud cover, but we have beautiful skies now. We're seeing more blue versus gray. The next couple of days, it is going to be rather quiet for those cleanup efforts. Maybe a little breezy at times, but really going to be nice compared to what we've been dealing with. It's 55 degrees right now. If you're headed to the Sounders game at home, temperatures will be in the 50s, so a mild one there. You won't have to worry about the rain like you may have Saturday. For tomorrow, we'll have highs in the upper 50s, a couple of spots in the low and mid 60s, but a couple of showers may move in from the northwest. I'll have those details and talk about the weekend weather. That's coming up.
Okay, Ashley, thank you. New at 4, part of Snoqualmie Pass will be closed tonight as crews prepared to remove a semi-truck that crashed. The eastbound lanes of I-90 east of the summit will close at 10 p.m. It will reopen briefly from time to time to clear traffic, but work should be all wrapped up by 2 a.m. More violence surrounding King County Metro buses. One person is in critical condition after being shot in the middle of yesterday evening's commute. This all happened at the transit center in downtown Renton. We're learning a bus driver was also almost hit. Deputies have one person in custody, and we have just confirmed with the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office that that suspect is 17 years old. This comes just hours after a King County committee passed transit safety legislation that would create a countywide safety task force, something the president of the local union for transit operators fought for.
We just can't afford to do nothing because we're at a tipping point. Eventually, people won't want to use transit. We got billions of dollars invested, so we have to do whatever it takes to turn this around.
New at 4, essential services are at risk as King County grapples with a major budget deficit. It could mean unprecedented reductions. King 5's Natalie Swaby is joining us live with the warning council members sent out today. Natalie.
Well, during a meeting this morning, the focus was on how this could put public safety and health services in jeopardy. And the county is looking for solutions because this is a $150 million general fund deficit for the 2026-2027 budget. And it could mean the King County Sheriff's Office would have to cut more than $30 million from its budget. That's the equivalent of about 80 lost positions, and it would impact response times and coverage. Other agencies like the jail and the courts would face cuts too. The possibility in front of the King County prosecuting attorney is trimming that office's budget by $15.5 million. That's the equivalent to the salaries and benefits of 90 deputy prosecutors. If that happened, Lisa Mannion says it would take a toll on services.
There is no way that we will be able to file all of the car thefts, all of the economic crimes, all of the retail crimes that are referred to us. We are in a serious crisis.
I think that if anything, we need more services to help people.
Mason Reed owns Tim's Tavern in White Center. His worry is that essential services that help people in crisis could be impacted too. The council hopes the state legislature will provide new revenue options. Coming up, hear the concerns that this is sparking in the community and what local leaders told the council today about the potential budget cut impacts. We'll have that part of the story for you tonight at 5:30. Live in Seattle.
One person is dead after an explosion and a fire at a motorhome in Spanaway. This happened on 58th Avenue East near 224th Street. Pierce County Sheriff's deputies responded to calls about the fire just before midnight. Once crews got a handle on that fire, deputies found a body inside the motorhome. The cause is still being investigated. New at 4, no one was hurt, I should say, after a ceiling collapse at Liberty Cinema in Wenatchee. This is brand new video of the damage there. Wenatchee Valley firefighters say this happened around 8 o'clock last night. 2 people were inside the theater at the time, but again, no one was hurt, and at this point there's no word on what caused the collapse. Liberty Cinema said on its website that it will be closed until further notice.
New at 4, President Trump is pushing back the timeline for his tariffs against Mexico and Canada just days after saying that they would move forward on time. Those 25% tariffs are now expected to be rolled out in April instead of the beginning of March. That is when retaliatory tariffs for all other countries with tariffs against the U.S. are set to begin as well.
New here at 4 o'clock, President Trump met with his cabinet for the first time since taking office last month. New during this term, there will be an extra seat at the table for Elon Musk, who gave hundreds of millions of dollars to the president's election campaign. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez has more from D.C.
This day, the Bible says that your mercies...
Praise and prayer.
And Father God, we give you the glory and the honor.
Kicking off President Trump's first cabinet meeting of his second term.
We've put together a great cabinet.
Touting the work his team has accomplished and singling out Elon Musk, the billionaire slashing government spending and employees.
This country has gotten bloated and fat and disgusting and incompetently run.
The world's richest man defending his actions.
But if we don't do this, America will go bankrupt. That's why it has to be done.
The Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, claims it saved $65 billion by cutting waste and fraud, though the administration has yet to produce evidence of fraud, which is a crime.
We will make mistakes. We won't be perfect. But when we make a mistake, we'll fix it very quickly.
But the Trump administration is ramping up its push to slash the federal government, sending a new memo today to agency heads, directing them to prepare for large-scale reductions in force. Also today, the president downplaying the latest economic numbers that show prices rising and consumer confidence dropping.
The inflation is stopping slowly, but part of the reason it's stopping is because of high interest rates and other problems that we inherited.
In fact, inflation has been ticking up steadily over the past year, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Trump also predicting his administration will balance the budget as early as next year, as the House narrowly passed a resolution overnight with no cuts to Social Security.
We're not going to touch it. Now, we are going to look for fraud, act like people that shouldn't be on.
Still, it's not clear how the Republican-led Congress will ultimately pay for the tax cuts Trump wants. One thing the president was clear on today: Ukraine should not be part of NATO.
NATO you can forget about.
But he says he struck a deal with Ukraine to get access to that country's rare earth minerals, crucial to creating electronics and defense weapons.
President Zelensky is going to be coming on Friday. That's now confirmed, and we're going to be signing an agreement, which will be a very big agreement.
Tomorrow, Governor Ferguson is expected to roll out his proposal for our next state budget.
He was hoping to find cuts instead of relying on new taxes to make ends meet. Mickelson goes one-on-one with the governor to see if that's still the case.
Programs to help convicted felons transition to life after prison are on the state chopping block. What could the big picture impacts be? We'll look at that coming up at 4:30.
And for the first time in over a decade, someone in the U.S. has died from measles. The latest details out of Texas and the ongoing outbreak. Stay with us. King 5 News continues.